Happy Friday. Time for another episode of Rocky Mountain Gamers. I'm Mark Cameron,
And I'm Mel Babbins.
and we are coming at you with a few jittery computer problems. Hopefully, it won't really affect the recording. Somebody's internet is being bobbly. We're not sure whose.
Yes.
But wanted to get an episode in this week because it's been an exciting week.
It has been.
It's been awesome. Oh my goodness, has it been awesome.
What a great week, hey?
And that's without a Nintendo Direct, which we were hoping we would have, but if we had one, we wouldn't have enough time to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we get 2 good weeks now out of this.
Yeah, maybe 2 good weeks in a row, because we have a Sony event that happened yesterday that's blowing our collective minds.
Absolutely. Good event.
So it's just awesome. Let's start as we usually start by begging you to please hit that like and subscribe button. We're climbing, we're slowly climbing. And that contest we were talking about is a week away. We're going to have a contest for you next week. We're going to give away something cool.
Love it.
So be sure to hit those buttons, and we'll tell you how to enter next week. In the meantime, let's start with what you're looking for, Mr. Babs. What are you on the hunt for this week?
Well, I guess some things haven't changed yet. It's still impossible to find consoles, and everyone's still looking pretty closely for that Halo Infinite Xbox Series X console, and the retailers just keep teasing us. So we have this Amazon listing. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. Everybody's wondering. And then, of course, yesterday, another listing showed up at the Source, which I don't think you have the Source in the US.
No, that's a Canadian Source.
Yeah, it's basically owned by Bell here. It's pretty large just because Bell owns it. And a listing showed up there yesterday. Again, coming soon on it. So everyone was kind of excited about that. And they kind of took it down today, saying it's no longer available, which it's typical. I think retailers have no idea how to put these up, because when they go up, like the site crashes, like everyone's unhappy. It's difficult to do these things. So I understand. So those are pretty high demand right now. I don't know if you've seen this morning, but Nintendo put out a trailer for, well, not a trailer, like an overview trailer basically for Metroid Dread.
I did see that.
It looks incredible, for starters. But as soon as they did, basically, I got wind that GameStop here in Canada was going to be putting up their Metroid Dread Special Edition pre-orders in store. So that's a pretty big deal, because it's incredibly limited, it sounds like.
I still don't have one ordered.
I know, they're impossible to find. So I figured if they're putting them up in store, maybe online would come around. But nothing yet. So definitely on the hunt for that. And then, of course, and this always drives me a little bit crazy about Sony. We have all these amazing games announced and whatnot. And so I'm all like, are they going to be putting out pre-orders anytime soon? But Sony recently, it seems like they're doing the kind of, it's like an announcement of a pre-order day sort of thing, like they did with Horizon. So I think we probably won't see pre-orders for a lot of these games right away anyway. Maybe Gran Turismo 7, because that's coming up pretty quick here. And maybe a few others, but I'm kind of watching for those right now, because I could see some popping up pretty quick. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands pre-orders have started showing up, so maybe soon.
Well, that's a good segue into our main feature this week, which is the Sony showcase.
Yes.
Yesterday, Sony did a showcase, and we were hoping for, maybe an announcement, some closer looks, and boy, did we get announcements and looks. And Babs here was very happy because he was worried there was going to be like 20 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy, and there were only 2.
I was preparing for my nap.
Yeah, there were only 2 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was 2 new minutes. And there was only about 3 minutes of Deathloop, which we're tired of seeing it all. Um, but it's out next week. I understand they want to tout the game that's coming out the soonest, so they're
Yeah.
forgiven.
Yes. And it looks great.
It does look great for a shooter,
Yes.
which isn't either of our main jams. If I'm going to do a shooter, I like them like Borderlands. I like third person rather than first.
Me too, actually.
As a matter of fact. So, but that's okay. There's also another game that's coming up remarkably fast, like 3 weeks from now, 3 weeks from next Tuesday, to be precise. And that is the remake of the remaster of Alan Wake.
Right. That's coming up soon.
And perfect timing. Great addition for Halloween month. Get that kind of spooky supernaturalness. And it looked really pretty. We knew it was coming.
Yeah,
Didn't know it was coming quite that fast,
Mm-hmm.
but we knew it was coming. And that kind of seemed to be the theme of Sony's presentation. We knew a lot of stuff was coming. We didn't know we were going to get to see it or get official announcements yesterday.
Right.
And they started. Oh, yeah. They started off with a bang with a full-on remake, although they haven't really shown anything. But they have finally confirmed the full-on remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, that was one of my favorite parts of the show, actually. I need a new Star Wars game to play, even if it's an old Star Wars game. And they basically said they're remaking this thing from the, all the way up. Like, it's going to be completely redone. So that's very exciting to me.
I hope they're going to add, even if they got to tweak it a little from the original, I hope they add it to canon. Darth Revan needs to be part of the canon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And, it was an exciting way to kick things off, I think.
Oh, yeah, it got me going right away. I'm like, wow, if they're leading with this, where is this going?
It's true. And they organize things interestingly. Third-party-ish games were first, and then they did a big first-party blowout, a Sony Game Studio blowout.
Right.
Some of the games were just didn't even know where they came from. Project Eve.
Yeah, well, that looked incredible. I'm like, what am I looking at? It almost looked like Nier Automata, almost. Like the backgrounds and the fighting style and everything was just exceptional. I'm like, what is this game and why have I never heard of it? It looks fantastic.
It's kind of got a little bit of a Bayonetta vibe.
Yeah, or Bayonetta, right.
And yeah, I don't know where it came from, but I'm glad it came.
Yeah, I want to see more.
It looks really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And gorgeous graphics. And unfortunately, it is one of the games that when we get all said and done with the presentation, gets backseated. And it shouldn't necessarily be. So pay attention to a few of these games. Another game like that for me was Forspoken.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually gone back and watched that trailer a few times. The girl plucked from New York, where she doesn't seem to be having a particularly pleasant life, and thrown into a fantasy world where she controls magic and she gets to interact with dragons. No idea where they're taking the story, but great take on looks like a great take on the stranger in a strange land concept.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really caught my notice. For me, it kind of looks like a fantasy set or a sci-fi fantasy set, Tomb Raider of sorts. The way she was navigating the world and things of that nature. So I'm really interested to see where Forspoken's going to go.
Absolutely. And the backgrounds and the like environments, I think that's what's catching me with these new PlayStation 5 announces is that the backgrounds and environments just look insane. Like
It's
they're
true.
just crazy on this stuff.
You can really tell the power of the systems. They showed off the remake coming next year for Grand Theft Auto 5, the game
Mm.
that keeps on giving to Rockstar.
Just in case you don't own it already 100 times.
Uh, and this will be my third system I own it on, because I went from 360 to Xbox One X to probably do PlayStation 5 this time. I'm sure it'll come up on Series 1 as well.
Oh
But
yeah.
just, oh my goodness, did it look beautiful. And it looks like they're taking their time redoing the art. It didn't look like just a simple resolution change. The character art looked more refined, and the backgrounds looked more refined. So
Feels like they're
even
putting some effort into it, which is
yeah, even a game that we've all played, let's face it, a lot, um, just looks like it's going to be fantastic and a good reason to revisit it, particularly since Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't still not anywhere on anybody's radar.
yeah, it must still have a long way to go if they're doing this with GTA 5, right?
I think they've been concentrating on GTA Online, which also comes with the new package,
Right.
and that's okay. GTA Online, a lot of people really love it. I prefer the single player GTA
Mm.
portion,
Yeah,
so
myself.
it'll be a good excuse to go back and relive that story.
Absolutely.
What did you think about Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt? Didn't see
You
that one
know,
coming.
those they have so many. It feels like there's so many games in that series now that I kind of lost track of where it's going or what's happening with it. Obviously, it looks good, but I don't know what to think about it in that sense. I don't know. Do I need to play these games? I haven't played any of them, and it feels like there's lots of them, and so it's kind of almost gotten lost in the shuffle for me. Um,
The
I
RPGs are decent.
Yeah.
They're not amazing usually, but they're fun and it's a fun world. This is more of a shooter,
Mm.
or a fast-paced action game, if not shooter, per se. But looks interesting, looks pretty,
It does. It looks good, you know.
and this is the reason I feel bad for this games like this, because it's hard for that game to stand out in this showcase.
Absolutely. Or at all, I think just in the modern with all the games releasing right now, I think it's tough for that sort of a game to sort of differentiate itself
Yeah,
uh,
I agree.
amidst all the great games out there.
I agree.
I feel bad for that in a sense because it's probably a great game, you know?
Could be. We got an extra look at Tiny Tina's Wonderlands,
Mhm.
and I gotta say, it looks so totally insane. I cannot wait to play it.
Yeah, I was initially not really interested in it because I'm not a huge Borderlands guy. But you know, after each trailer, I get a little more interested in it. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm probably going to play that actually when it comes out.
The aesthetics really interesting. I love the lands of Borderlands. I don't spend hours and hours and hours and hours doing the looter shooter thing, which
Mhm.
is I don't even know why. Because I'll play Diablo for days on end. I'll play Diablo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Diablo clones, and just go and go and go. I don't know why I don't do that with Borderlands, because I really like the world. So it's nice to see them take this slice of world with a great character. Tiny Tina is a great character, and to do something different with it.
Yeah, it definitely looks unique. I actually love the take they're doing on the whole, guns and sorcery thing. Like that's fun. I think that's really fun.
That was crazy. And one more, and I'm going to probably mispronounce this. Chia.
Yeah,
Tchia,
I believe that's how they were pronouncing it. Yeah, Chia.
which is, I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know what this game is. It's cartoony and kind of looks like it has some platform elements and some puzzle elements. But it's pretty. You
Hmm.
you get to play an instrument. You get to play a ukulele,
And you
and
transform into animals,
yeah,
which
it's
is interesting.
it's very very different.
Yes.
Um, but I'm not sure what to make of it. It's one I'm gonna watch.
I'm gonna need more info, I think,
But
before.
yeah, lots and lots more info.
But it has potential, like you said, it looks good, and I like the vibe it's giving off. So I'm definitely interested to see more.
And I'm always down to play a ukulele.
Absolutely, who isn't?
Of course. It just, makes for a good game.
Absolutely.
And see, those are the titles, believe it or not, that were the slow news part of the showcase.
Yeah, no doubt.
Um, because then we started getting things like uh, a new Uncharted collection, Uncharted 4, and um, the little mini spin-off. I'm not remembering the name. Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy, yes.
Lost Legacy. Brain don't fail me now. So Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy remastered for PS5. Um, and oh, it looks so stunning. Not that it looked bad on PS4.
That's the thing. Like I don't know how they keep making these games look better. But man, it looks like you said, stunning,
It's
fantastic.
just insane.
Yeah.
And shows Naughty Dog is still in it to win it. Um, but so pretty. Uh, so that'll be a nice pickup. I think that's next year.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and really looked at the release dates of a lot of these. It's felt like most of it was like way, way out there.
Some of
Um,
it, yeah.
but Uncharted, I think is sooner than later-ish, I
That'd be
think.
nice. It would
Not
certainly be
2023
nice. And you see things like Uncharted and GTA 5 and Alan Wake and Star Wars. It seems like other consoles, other game companies are taking a little bit of a lesson from Nintendo, who has been putting out remakes and remasters on the Switch.
anyway.
Um, because, well, for one thing, there's no such thing as an old game you've never played.
Right.
Um, to paraphrase an old philosophy about jokes, there's no such thing as an old joke if you haven't heard it. Um, and some of these games, I mean, Knights of the Old Republic, we're over 20 years, aren't we? That was
Well,
original Xbox. So we're right around 20 years, maybe just over 20 years. And so you have a whole generation of Star Wars fans coming into adulthood who've never played this game.
absolutely.
Unlike GTA 5, which has been ever present out there, uh, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic has, it's always been available, but it really hasn't been a thing for a while.
Hmm.
And uh, the Uncharted collection, yeah, that's not that old. Uncharted 4 and those. Um, but that doesn't mean it's not appreciated that they're taking their time and revving it up and putting it on PS5. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, that does feel a little bit like the Nintendo analogy because, like, all of the Wii U games, they're basically bringing forward to the Switch. Sony's kind of grabbing some PS4 games and moving them forward to the PS5. And I'm all for that actually. They're great games, and I would love to play them again, looking better.
Yeah, and I think you and I are the core audience, members of the core audience who don't mind a double dip if there's a good reason.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'll be grabbing Uncharted again and playing it front to back again. So Then we started getting newer games, some of which we knew were out there. Ghostwire Tokyo. We've been waiting for Ghostwire Tokyo for a long, long time. And we still don't have a release date.
Yeah.
And Jinx. What did you think of the new look?
Oh, it looks so cool. I don't know if it's going to be too scary for me to play. Because you know me, I'm kind of a wimp with these things. But man, like every time I see more of this game, I'm like, where's the release date? Like this has got to be coming up soon because it's just looking incredible. And same thing yesterday, it looks incredible.
Yeah, I can't imagine they have that much more time to put into it, but we'll see.
Yeah, it looks pretty finished, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like it could easily be a spring release. But we're not the bosses, so we don't get to decide.
That's right.
But it was nice. It was nice getting an update there. And we got a gorgeous, massive update for God of War.
Oh yeah. Wow, does it look good too. Jeez.
Love the God of War franchise. The 2018 remake was really a breath of fresh air. Not remake. 2018 God of War, a whole new game, was a beautiful breath of fresh air. And Ragnarok, I guess, is going to wrap up the Norse portion of the God of War saga. And so we got to see more of the world. We got to get an idea of what's going on. We got to hear Thor's voice. And they have confirmed, yes, that is Thor. Yes, Odin is in it. These are not the Marvel characters. They're more centered around the traditional folklore and mythology. But just stunning.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those things. I think we're going to take a pause right here. And I'm going to run it with audio. I usually just overlay trailers, but I think I'm going to run this one with audio and let people see what's coming up for God of War. And we'll be right back.
Is running out. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard?
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
You do not know what Mother wanted.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere. Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Chia, the old God of War in these lands, who is dead?
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
Come in. What in all yarn speed the happened to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
War is not the only way.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
No! You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person? crisis. In moments of crisis, panic does nothing. Harness it. Let it serve you.
Here!
Are you coming with us?
You'll get your answers soon enough. Well, some of them.
See, it just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And you gotta love when they have like characters that make Kratos look small. I'll take any giant tough guy who's going to come out and help. Great monsters. The son doesn't look a whole lot older, so it must be a pretty direct sequel
Yeah.
from the last game. And if I get a vote, I don't think I get a vote, but if I get a vote as to where they take the franchise next, I would love to see them, because Norse is Vikings. Vikings is truly who discovered the Americas. I'd like to somehow see them move over and go Aztec.
Neat.
And kind of salute the Aztec culture and get into a mythology that is a little more diverse. Isn't one of the Eurocentric mythologies. My dog is making all kinds of noises. He leaves the room. It's a circus around here, folks. But so if Corey Barlog is listening, go Aztec next, man. Bring them into North America before anybody knew they were into North America, and let Kratos loose on the Aztecs. So, and if you need suggestions as to who you can hire that knows that mythology well, just hit me up. I know people that will do you proud. So there's my commercial for the Aztec God of War that I want to see. And then Insomniac reared their pretty little head. I think they are the studio that never sleeps.
Honestly, I don't know how they're doing all this. I have no idea.
But they hit us with a teaser for Marvel Wolverine standalone game. They didn't show any gameplay, but what they showed sent a shiver up my spine. That made me really happy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when they when the part at the bar. I almost fell over. I'm like, whoa, really?
And that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere.
And they show this, and I thought to myself, Wolverine, really? I thought we'd be seeing Spider-Man 2 by now. And they're showing me Wolverine. And then a couple of minutes later, Spider-Man 2 showed up.
Yes. Oh, I think that was probably the moment for me in the whole presentation. But I guess there were lots of moments. But
there were lots of moments, but yeah, that was when I was like, okay, this is, the scale went from 1 to 10. This just dialed up to 11.
Yeah. Oh, totally. That's it. Couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is a great presentation.
And you have Miles Morales and Peter Parker, 2 Spider-Men for Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
We got a hint, a taste, pretty much a confirmation, I'd say, of Venom appearing.
Oh, yeah. They show Venom.
So we get to see Venom briefly. It's not till 2023.
That's the sad part for me right there.
We got about a 2-year wait.
but that's, we got stuff to play in the meantime.
Yeah, it's not like we have any lack of games. And where are those games, Lee? They're in
There
our
is the backlog of
okay. There's our mention of the backlog for the day. So yeah, we have plenty of games to play. We'll have plenty of games to play, but we want Spider-Man.
Yeah, they keep teasing me with these new games, even though I have, Tales of Arise sitting here to play and endless other games to finish. But no,
Not gonna lie, I haven't played Miles Morales yet.
I have not either, but suddenly I'm only looking at Spider-Man 2 for some reason.
Miles will hold me over. So
Yeah.
gotta get to that.
Yeah.
And lastly, and it's crazy to say lastly and then go to Gran Turismo 7.
Yes.
Game that has been highly anticipated. The Gran Turismo games don't seem to pop out as frequently as the Forza games do on Xbox, but the true fans love the true racing fans love their Gran Turismo, love Polyphony, and just love Gran Turismo. Now, I am not one of them. I prefer an arcadey racer rather than a sim, but I think you are a Turismo player, aren't you?
Yeah, like I got really into the first two on the original PlayStation. I didn't actually continue on with the series, but I think now I may have to. I remember looking at Forza Horizon there, the new one, and thinking, man, this game just looks incredible. I want to play that game. And then I seen Gran Turismo 7 yesterday, and I'm like, it looks even better somehow, like the graphic wise anyway. Like, it's obviously a different game, but holy smokes,
it's very much if you thought that looked good, take a look at this.
Yeah, it's the eye candy for the PlayStation 5. Like, it really looks crazy.
And they're gonna have all that insane customization and all of that going on. So that makes, that's gonna make the gearheads happy.
Oh yeah, no, it looks good. It looks like it was worth the wait, that's for sure.
So, well, as good of a presentation as I thought Microsoft had at E3, this blew me out of the water. This is the best presentation I've seen this year. I welcome Nintendo to come one up it if they can. But between Star Wars, Tiny Tina, Ghostwire, Forspoken, Uncharted, Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, God of War, thank you, Sony.
Yeah, there was nothing in that show I wasn't interested in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. It was all just pretty and fun looking, and I'm sure there's a game in there that'll suck, because there always is. There were too many games in there that something's got to give, but right. It all looked great choices, and a really nice opening to fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a nice look at what we can look forward to in the future, going into next year, going into 2023. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, it feels like the industry is kind of back on track. Hey,
it does.
With these presentations, like with Microsoft and with Sony, and hopefully with Nintendo's next presentation, it feels like they kind of hit their stride again. And
right,
I'm excited for the industry in general.
I agree. We did have some other game adjacent news this week.
Yes.
We got a new Lego Mario set, and it's not what people are thinking. It's not the new the Mario figure around on set. It is a Mario 64 ? Block that unfolds and shows scenes from Super Mario 64.
Yeah, that is cool, man. I seen that. That's what I woke up to. I woke up and literally the first thing I looked at was this trailer, and I was like, what am I looking at here? I'm like, I need some coffee here before I can comprehend what I'm looking at. But man, once I started looking at it, what a cool Lego set.
It literally folds and unfolds
into scenes from Super Mario 64.
And it's a little over 2,000 pieces. The US retail on it's going to be 170, and it'll
Yeah.
go up. It'll go up in early October, from what I understand. It'll be available in October.
1st. So it'll be basically midnight, September 30th is when it'll show up.
That's because I'm going on vacation in October, and everybody wants me to spend my money elsewhere.
No, you better sock $170 somewhere quickly before that hits.
Oh, no doubt. And we got a movie trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tie this into games in a creative way if you're ready for this. We got a trailer for the new Matrix Resurrections, Matrix 4. And it looks like they kept the story material from Matrix Online as part of the canon for Matrix.
Really? See, I didn't even know much about Matrix Online.
There's,
so.
there's little bits and pieces. And I'm not going to pretend to know every nuance either, but there's hints throughout that they're leaving the events from Matrix Online in the movie series. So I thought that was kind of fun.
That is cool.
And a little bit crazy. Let us know below what you think about the Sony presentation, about the games that were revealed, and about the Matrix trailer, because those are just cool.
Yeah, I watched it twice yesterday.
And yeah, me too. And after all of that, we're still waiting on the Nintendo Direct. We are hoping for next week. Rumors are still strong that it's coming.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you what, Sony, I mentioned this last week, Sony jumped out early and got their position this week. And if Nintendo had any idea, and they usually have ideas of what each other are doing, if Nintendo had any idea how much was in this Sony trailer, they may have actually backed their plans up a week to give it a little breathing room.
That's honestly what it feels like, because it seemed like it was pretty likely going to happen, even historically. That should have been next week. And you're right, Sony kind of like jumped in there right away a week early, and
They did.
If Nintendo knew what they were packing, maybe they decided to be a better move to hold off until
And
next
even
week.
if it's good stuff, you still got to compete against big announcements. So
Yeah.
but it almost feels more like E3 now than E3 did.
Doesn't it though?
It
It's lovely.
does. That's great. So, like I said, let us know what you think below, and we'll keep talking on it. By the way, last week we did not talk about the new Saints Row game.
Oh yes.
And I asked people if they wanted to hear about it to tag us. They
Yeah.
did. So next week we're going to do a little research, and Lee and I scratch. Next week we're going to do a little research, and Babs and I are going to talk about the new Saints Row game and let you know what we think of the trailer. We're going to give it a good close watch, and we'll let you know what we think.
Yeah, pre-orders went up today at GameStop in Canada, and people sound excited. So
Yeah.
I'd like to learn more.
Definitely. So, well, let's move on. What's on your shelf this week, Babs?
All right, well, not too much this week, but something I am extremely excited about showed up today. Tales of Arise for the PS5 has shown up perfectly, and this one was kind of a special one because it was part of almost like a price error at Amazon, where it went up $20 cheaper than normal. So anyone who's following me and was part of that got in on that for $60. So that's pretty good. Anyone in the US is going to be wondering why we think $60 is a good deal, but trust me, in Canada, it's a good deal. And then this showed up as well. And I know this has been kind of there's been some controversy or whatnot around it. And that's the Sonic Colors Ultimate package.
Particularly around the Switch version.
Yeah, particularly the Switch version. It comes with a Baby Sonic keychain. But I guess the controversy around it is that I've heard several things. Number one, that it causes like it's very seizure inducing.
Oh,
With the colors, and I haven't looked too much into that, but it sounds like it's bad enough that there are threads popping up everywhere around that. So, and I know Sega has said they were going to address that. I haven't heard what came from that. And then, of course, there's also, I was reading that someone was saying that the Switch version can brick the Switch console somehow.
I've heard that too.
And again, I haven't received full confirmation on that, but it's odd to get some of these things flying around right around release date. And a lot of these actually went out early. I know a lot of people that follow me on Twitter mentioned that Amazon actually shipped theirs out a little bit early. So I think a lot of people had this game early as well too. So we were starting to see these things. I'm hoping Sega kind of addresses this, maybe with a patch or whatnot.
I hope so too, because right now I'm not putting mine in my Switch.
Yeah, no,
until I see how it pans out.
Absolutely, especially like with the new OLED coming out soon.
Yeah,
I'm not risking that on that. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And that's what's on my shelf today.
That's crazy. Well, we're going to kind of wrap a little early. I'll tell you what we're playing. Babs is still playing Final Fantasy VII remaster remake Intragrade, and I'm still playing Ys 9. And we're not going to bore you with the same stuff we told you just a few days ago. So we'll hopefully have something new on our playlist next week, and we can discuss that.
Hopefully Arise. I would love to be playing some Tales of
I would
Arise.
like to be playing that too. Got to get through Ys though.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we really appreciate all of you tuning into tuners. I don't know. We appreciate all of you. Whether or not we can speak or even, we're talking monkeys at this point. Who are we kidding? But we appreciate you. Thanks for coming by. As always, we are the Rocky Mountain Gamers. Please hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks so much, everyone.